you probably all realized it by this time, but we have a fairly remarkably large contingent of Australasian region members with us at this convention. And those of you from the Australasian region, would you please stand up for a moment here? It's been a pleasure to meet you all this weekend. I do want to call specifically three people, ask them to stand just for a moment to be recognized. The first is the current Australasian Region President, David Howard. The first Pioneer Award for 2011 goes to Max Gray. Back when there were very few painted and lettered, let alone assembled freight and passenger cars and locomotives, modelers looked almost exclusively to decals. One of the most famous of the pioneering producers of decals was Champion Decals, which Max Gray founded in Cleveland, Ohio in 1940. He later relocated the business to California. Most of us are very familiar with Champ and may not associate the founding of the company with Max Gray. Max pioneered not only in decals, but also in printed car sides, with an emphasis on the colorful private owner refrigerator cars. But he is perhaps best known as one of the early importers of outstanding HO and O scale brass locomotives and cars. He began that business in 1951 under the name Perfection Scale Models. Max became aware of the skills available in occupied Japan, and his wife played a key role by translating what was being said during the negotiations with their Japanese hosts. Max's models were built by KTM, with whom he had an exclusive production arrangement for many years. Among the more famous examples of Max Gray imports in O scale were the Erie K5 Pacifics, Pennsylvania Railroad Decapods, Chesapeake and Ohio and Nickel Plate 284s, the C&O Alleghenies, Baltimore and Ohio EM1s, Southern Pacific's AC9 cab forwards, New York Central Hudsons in several versions, and the list just goes on and on and on. All these models are still sought after by today's O-scalers. He also imported diesels, including EMD Jeeps, Baldwin Sharpnose. He imported many electrics, quite a few freight cars, and a variety of cabooses, and even a wreck train with working lights. His HO, loco, and rolling stock imports are still well regarded today. Levon Kamalian of Chemtron and U.S. Hobbies later acquired parts of this line, and much of KTM's production began to be imported by Balboa and then Westside. Max is quoted as saying, "Any article made entirely by hand and of good quality retains its value long after a mass-produced article is forgotten." He ran his business according to that credo. Max Gray, one of the real pioneers of the brass importing business that has contributed so much to the hobby of scale model railroading, died in his mid-50s in 1966. And we have no one here, sadly, to accept this award, and I suspect that it will be, unless we can find someone, we'll be putting it onto the wall at headquarters where we put these sorts of things. If anyone does know anything about his family, descendants, etc., please just see me or send me an email or something about it. So Max Gray is the first. Second award, Pioneer Award, goes to Lou and Saul Kramer. Today, when we think of like products, we most often associate the name with the high-quality Proto-2000 product line and with its current owner, Walters. Like Walters, Lifelike is one of the names that is familiar to those of us who have been in the hobby, not just for years, but for decades. Lifelike Products was the creation of two brothers, Lou and Saul Kramer, who got their start in the late 1930s. As teenagers, they made model airplanes from lightweight wood that they salvaged from discarded banana crates found at the old United Fruit Pier along Pratt Street in Baltimore, Maryland, not far from today's Harbor Place. According to biographer Jacques Kelly, who interviewed Lou's son Jay, They started the business with $40 they borrowed from their mother, and they named their enterprise Bird, B-U-R-D, model airplanes. After the end of World War II, they set up Wholesale Hobby Distributors Company and Kramer Brothers Hobbies. Saul and Lou sold model cars and fishing tackle, and they entered the Christmas garden supply business through their Lifelike line, which produced artificial grass, trees, and mountains for trains. The hobby business boomed in the 1950s, and the Kramer brothers made the best of it. Jay recalls that Lou and Saul dyed sawdust for imitation grass on the roof of a building they owned on Bar Street in Baltimore. One of Lifelike's most famous products, Lichen, was imported from Norway. Many of you may recall when we called Dayton, Ohio, the Lichen Belt, because so many layouts, including Alan McClellan's famous Virginia and Ohio, had lichen-covered forests. After a fire destroyed the Bar Street building, the Kramers rented one floor at 1600 Union Avenue and later bought the stone structure. They employed many local people to make the little trees and the grass mats. Numerous members of Baltimore's Lumbee Indian community also worked at the factory, which the Kramers ran until selling the business to Walters in 2000. It was a family business and there was a great deal of loyalty, Jay Kramer said. Lou Kramer passed away in 2003, but I'm happy to report that Saul Kramer is enjoying retirement at the age of 94. Yeah. Here to accept the Pioneers of Model Railroading Award on behalf of the Kramer Brothers and Lifelike is Phil Walters of William K. Walters Incorporated.
We certainly are one of the most immediate beneficiaries of what the Kramers did, having somewhat inherited the Lifelike and Pro grants from them. And Saul really was, he really was a pioneer. He was way out in front of everybody else. And we have him really to thank for some of the highest quality products that are available to modelers today. He was really the one who was the first to go over to China, where most people look at China and say, "Well, that's just junk that's produced over there." But he started a factory over there and managed to take advantage of all of the resources and the great amount of labor and very low labor cost to put detail into the product that modelers enjoy today that never ever would have been able to be done in any other way. So Saul really was a pioneer, and I accept this award for the Kramers and for Lifelike with great appreciation. Thank you.
The award this evening is being presented in honor of, well, this will be a familiar name. It's a familiar name to Bruce, or to Phil, Bruce Walters. William K. Walters was one of the hobby's best-known pioneers, and for model railroaders, along with A.C. Kalmbach, the peers who made Milwaukee famous. And that's not my... Thank you, Tony. That was Piers, P-E-E-R-S, okay? Tonight, we honor his son, Bruce. Bruce's 60-plus years of service to the hobby of scale model railroading began in the mid-1930s when he helped his dad during school holidays and over summer vacations for the princely sum of 20 cents an hour. In 1937, Bruce began his studies of accounting and business at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. After graduation, he spent 3 years on active duty with the Navy in the Pacific. When he came back home in 1946, he went to work full-time for Walters. The post-war years were among the most challenging the company faced. Walters began selling their line directly to hobby shops, thus laying the groundwork for their wholesale operations. Even so, Bill was ready to fold the company when the Ethern line of undecorated plastic models was introduced. The ensuing demand for Walther's decals soared, along with sales of paint and detail parts. The influx of cash allowed Bill to retire gracefully as he turned over the reins to Bruce. The advent of slot cars caused problems with model railroad product distribution. Under Bruce's leadership, the company began the first full-time wholesaler dedicated to model railroad products. This set the pace for the next 20 years. In the early 1980s, Bruce took advantage of an import program to offer a wide selection of models from around the world. Bruce followed his father's example by turning the company's day-to-day operations over to son Phil in 1984. But he remained as chairman of the board and played key roles in Walther's transitions to the electronic age, their continued growth as a manufacturer and distributor, and the recent acquisition of Lifelike Products in 2005. Bruce lived to see Walther's attain the distinction of serving the hobby for 75 years. He died in January of their anniversary year, 2007. He is among the most deserving recipients in the long history of the prestigious Pioneers of Model Railroading Award. And again, here to accept this award is his son, Phil Walters.
Well, it gives me even more pleasure to accept this award for my father. And I have to say, he, again, truly was a pioneer. And I've had the very good fortune to have spent most of my career working side by side with him, which was a joy. I was talking to somebody on the show floor today, and I was telling them that in all of the years that I worked with him, we only had one very small argument, and it only lasted about 15 minutes, and that was about it. And to be in a family business and to work closely with your father and have that kind of relationship is really special. And he's really taught me a lot about this group and about the industry. Beyond that, he was very committed to this industry. When we started the wholesale division, or when he started the wholesale division, and we started printing the catalog, one of the first things that he put in the catalog, and it's still there today, is a coupon to sign up and become a member of the NMRA. So if you look at our catalog, it's still there. And I was told by Jim Hammer a number of years ago that coupon brought in more members to the NMRA than any other single source of recruiting, which I thought was quite amazing. He was also very committed to the NMRA. He spent, I'm not sure how many, but a good number of years on the NMRA board, and he was very, very diligent about what he did and how he prepared for board meetings, and always making sure that he could add value to that. He also made a number of donations of various things from our archives and our libraries to the Chattanooga library. So he's been very dedicated to this organization, and I truly think he's a very very deserving recipient of this award, and I thank you for presenting it to him.
Gentlemen, please. Did I say sit?
He just thinks he's important.
Back there are Standards and Conformance Department Manager, G. Voss, the Eastern Director and immediate past President, John Roberts, some guy in a blue shirt, you may not know, you may know him, I don't know, I can't think of his name, Charlie Getz, of the at-large North America Director, the Worldwide at-large director, Tony Custer. Our CFO and treasurer, Frank Koch. He's raising his hand. Yes. Our manager of meetings and trade shows, and also our legal counsel, Bob Ansler.
Yeah.
Our Vice President of Administration, Dave Thornton. Central District Director, Pete Magoon. And Western District Director, Jack Hamilton. The person here who tells me when I need to stand up and come up here, and then tells me when it's time for me to sit down again, for which I'm profoundly grateful. Jenny, stand up, please. This is Jenny. Our Chief Administrative Officer in Chattanooga. Okay, I have a few more awards here. These are the awards of the Honors Committee. First is Distinguished Service Award, the DSA, which is given for service to the hobby. The first DSA, we have two this evening. The first DSA is awarded to Eric Coate of AccuRail. AccuRail is a manufacturer of prototypically accurate HO models produced in the United States. During Eric's tenure, AccuRail has been instrumental in the production of fundraising models for many organizations, including the NMRA. And I know Eric's not, I don't believe he's here. Is he in? Was he at the show? Did anybody see him? I didn't get there. I don't know. Well, anyway, we'll get it to him. The second award, Distinguished Service Award, goes to Doug Gurin. Doug began contributing to the art and science of layout design in 1977 when he helped Alan McClellan prepare Railroad Model Craftsman's Virginia and Ohio story. In 1982, Doug founded the Layout Design SIG, which publishes the Layout Design Journal and has sponsored convention activities such as design exhibits, panel discussions, and layout tours. And we will get that award to Doug as well. The next awards are a Fellow of the NMRA, which is given upon nomination by region boards to persons who best personify the aspects of fellowship and advancement of the hobby that we appreciate in the NMRA. And Charlie can give you the whole thing because he wrote it, but I don't have it with me. So Charlie, would you like to do that? No. Okay. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, there are two Fellow of the NMRA awards this evening. The first goes to Doug Auber, wherever he is. Doug, Doug recently retired as the National Clinic Chair after 6 years in the position. He has also served as the chair of the 1994 National Convention in Portland, Oregon, as the Pacific Northwest Region National Trustee and as National Treasurer. He will be chairing the 2015 Portland National Convention as well. I saw Doug yesterday and I said, will you be there tomorrow night? And he said, yeah. And I said, good. And he gave me this look. And I think he knew something was up. The second Fellow of the NMRA Award is presented to Paul Volker, who had to fly out yesterday. He's not here. Is Howard Goodwin here per chance? Because he told me to give this to Howard. Okay, well, I'll find Howard here tomorrow. Paul Volker started as an assistant to the National Photo Contest Chair over 30 years ago and has been the photo contest chair for nearly 20 years. Paul has been responsible for the smooth running of the contest, as well as for setting up the contest room and at times delivering the contest equipment. He has also been the editor of the Southeastern Region's publication, The Southerner, for almost 20 years. awards, which you saw earlier, and the Fellow of the NMRA Awards are the only awards that made it to the convention. We have a box that's missing, courtesy of UPS. So, it kind of reminds me of the photo contest the other day. But I don't know, it's a little different, I guess. But, so we have, everyone else will be receiving this award. Meritorious Service Award is presented to individuals who have served with distinction in NMRA administrative departments. We're giving one Meritorious Service Award this year. Tracy McGibbon. Tracy is responsible for the members-only website content and has been performing other tasks for the IT and communications departments. He was selected for this award by Jerry Leone, the NMRA Communications Director. And this is his award.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's
a virtual award.
I presented 3 President's Awards this year. Actually, I presented 5 President's Awards. The first 2 were presented in February, and one of them went to a guy in the back of the room in a black shirt, Bob Ferguson, who completed his terms as RAC Director. He received this award because I believe Jenny hand-carried him to the mid-year meeting in wherever we were. I don't know. In Las Vegas, that's right. Okay. Okay, and the other award at that time, oh my, went to Clark Cooning. I don't know if he's here now. He's going to be really upset with me. Clark is here. Okay, Clark just completed, I really don't know how many years. He was on the Board of Trustees when I began in 1993, and he's been on continuously, either as a representative of NMRA Canada, and now Canada Director. He was term limited out as of this meeting this time. So his replacement is Don Hillman, who was recently elected as Canada Director. But Clark received his President's Award for years service on the Board of and the Board of Directors when we were in Las Vegas. And Clark, raise your hand, stand up, please. He said 21. What'd you do, start when you were 15?
Came up with you guys roll.
Oh, well.
Maybe it's a metric thing.
Well,
and I do have 3 awards to present this evening. The first goes to Bob Beatty. After a distinguished NMRA volunteer career as the Southeastern Region President and in other offices, Bob served for the past year as the Central District Director. And I'm personally very grateful to him for giving us the benefit of his business and NMRA experience over the past 12 months. So Bob is not here, but we will be, when we find the award, we will get to it. Another President's Award goes to Tim Cleaver. Tim has served as the NMRA's Information Technology Department Manager for the past 2 years. Was on the IT committee before that, Internet Presence Committee before that, and will continue on the committee. But he asked to be relieved from the position of IT manager, and he will be stepping down from that position as soon as I can find a replacement. So this award goes to Tim. And the final President's Award this evening, it goes to Wilmer Siever. Is he here, perchance? He was here. I hope he's still at the convention, because I didn't talk to him about this. Will has done nearly every job in the NMRA over many, many years, and I know you all know him very well in both the PCR and the PNR, because I think he served both as president at one time. It is customary for the president to present the gold award for the contest at the banquet. And actually, Alan already received this award well, actually he didn't receive it, but he was told he was receiving the award on Thursday at the model contest awards presentation. Alan is receiving the gold award because he had the highest pointing model in this year's contest, in the judge contest. It was an HO model of a McGifford's track laying machine. And I don't know what that is, but it sure looked neat. Now, Ray, the last award that I have to present this evening, I would appreciate it, please, if all the Master Model Railroaders, well, wait a minute, let me make sure. Joel Goldberg, are you here? There he is. Okay, I would appreciate it if all the Master Model Railroaders in the room would come up to the front here, please, and stand.
No, genuflecting is not required.
Now, Joel, what we didn't tell you is that you're going to have to run a gauntlet. Okay. I do want to, in the past year, these are the names of the individuals who received the Master Model Railroader Award. We started with number 447 and we went to number 467. So that's 21 Master Model Railroaders this year. The names are, in order, Ronald Lane, Bob Parrish, John Brown, Brad Morneau, Rod Franklin, Wolfgang Dudler, Andrew Dodge, David Howard, Tom Browning, Robert Mangrum, Gary Burdett, Joel, well, we'll come back to that one, Alan Murda, Tom Brueggemann, Nelson Moyer, Robert Minnis, Stephen Barkley, Ryan Moats, Dennis Brandt, Charlie Crawford, and P.J. Matson. And MMR number 458 is Joe Goldberg of, actually formerly I hear, of West Bloomfield, Michigan. Still.
Half a year.
For half the year. And his MMR was awarded in March of 2011, and the award has not been presented to him yet because it hasn't caught up with him. And we thought we would have it here this evening. And it hasn't caught up with him. So, I don't know, we may have to give him 2 or an extra big one or something. I don't know what we're going to do. Where's it, Joel, that you live for half the year?
West Bloomfield, Michigan, and Big Fork, Montana.
Big Fork, Montana. Well, no wonder it hasn't caught up.
Pony Express.
The Conestoga wagons still run.
So this is the official awarding of the plaque, which is not here. So if you will all close your eyes for a moment, I will hand the plaque to Joel. Thank you all, and you can take your seats now. And I know that this comes as a profound disappointment to you, but I am finished for the evening.
By looking over the crowd, it looks like I've probably talked to just about every one of you, so I won't bore you with the details of all the wonderful things things we have going on in Grand Rapids, like 65 layouts that you can tour on a self-guided basis. Or the fact that you can go out to Bruce Chubb's Sunset Valley Oregon system and probably grab a throttle at the bottom of the stairs when you go in. Or the fact that you can go and operate on a 7.5-inch gauge railroad if you'd like, 20 morning slots and 20 afternoon slots. And of course, we have a great ladies program that we're developing as well. We're going to show you a little bit of a video. Doesn't meet the standard of what you saw a little bit earlier. But it will be very informative. We hope you enjoy it. A little bit about what you can expect from the city, and the second part will be what we're going to do for you at the convention.